What's up, everybody? All right, we're moving on from what we've been talking about with triangles, where we've been working on just segments in triangles and their properties. And now in the next couple of sections, we're going to start working with inequalities that you can find within a single triangle in section 5.5, and then inequalities between two different triangles. That's what we're going to focus on in section 5.6. We're going to have a couple of videos here for 5.5, and the first video has two goals, but one is really the opposite of the other. First goal is that you're going to use the side lengths in order to put in order from least to greatest or greatest to least the angle measures of a triangle. And then the second goal is that you're going to use the angle measures of a triangle to order its side lengths from longest to shortest, shortest to longest, whichever I want you to be able to do. All right, now I'd like for you to be able to do this part kind of on your own. If you've got a ruler and a protractor around, I want you to draw a scalene triangle, and I want you to measure each of its sides and angles. I suggest you pause and do that. Here's the triangle that I drew. And here are the angle measures and the side lengths that I found. Now you've got your triangle in front of me, you've got my triangle, well, you got your triangle in front of you, and my triangle in front of you. And there's a very simple set of observations that I want you to make. What I'd like you to do right now is go ahead and identify where is the longest side of the triangle. I'm going to highlight mine. That would be segment AB on the triangle that I drew. And then where is the largest angle of the triangle? Well, that's going to be this 137 degree angle that I drew. And the observation that I want you to make is where those two things are located in relation to one another. And I hope you can see that the longest side of the triangle is opposite from the largest angle of the triangle. Now let's switch that up. Locate the shortest side of the triangle. For me, that's segment BC. And locate the smallest angle of the triangle. That would be angle A. And then the observation, of course, is that the shortest side of the triangle is opposite the smallest angle in the triangle. And that happens every time, where the longest side of the triangle is always opposite the largest angle, and so forth. Okay? Now, there's a couple of theorems kind of related to that. I'm not going to write down the theorems here because that concept is simple enough for you to have in your head already. But I would like it to take you through a couple of problems in which we apply that. Now, I've given you a triangle LM in here, and I'm telling you to list the side lengths in order from shortest to longest. But what I've done is I've given you angle measures. You don't know how long the sides are, because you don't have to know how long the sides are to know which is the longest, which is the shortest, and which is in between. Okay, now quite obviously the side across from the 108 degree angle is going to have to be the longest side, because we can't have an angle that's more than 108 degrees in a triangle. But it's not quite as clear right now which side is the shortest, because I've only given you two of the three angle measures. So use the triangle sum theorem to try to figure out what the measure of angle L is. Well, we've got 148 degrees so far between angles M and N, so then 32 degrees is going to be the measure of angle L, which means then that angle L is the smallest angle, and so the side across from that would be the shortest side. And I'm listing the side lengths in order from shortest to longest. All right, so MN, that's the shortest distance for a side that I've got. And then here's angle N is the next largest angle, so the next longest side or shortest side, whichever perspective you want to come from, is going to be LM, the one across from that. And then finally, the largest angle we already established is LM, or is angle M. So LN, the side across from that, would have to be the longest side. All right, doesn't get much easier than this, does it? One more problem for us to do in this video, then we'll go on to another pretty simple idea as well in another video for 5.5. This time I want you to list the angle measures of triangle WXY in order from largest to smallest. So always pay attention to the order there, that can change. Largest angle to the smallest angle. And so what we're doing is we're knowing that the largest angle is going to have to be across from the longest side. And you can see the longest side is 15. So the largest angle directly across from that, that's angle W. We don't know how many degrees angle W is. Doesn't really matter. It's across from the longest side, so it's the largest of the angles. And then the next longest side is WY, so the next largest angle is going to be the angle across from that, angle X. And the shortest side is side XW, and so angle Y across from that would have to be the smallest angle. All right, that's inequalities in a single triangle. Thanks for watching this video. One more for 5-5. And, well, thanks for watching again.